Hey everyone, welcome back to Sassy Puja! Today, we're diving deep into one of the most chaotic, mind-bending, and emotional seasons of adult animation Rick and Morty Season 4. From death crystals to acid vats, this season was a wild ride. But beneath all the sci-fi madness, there's a deeper story about Rick losing his grip on the family. Let's break it down. The season kicks off with Edge of Morty. Die, Reek, Repay. We see Morty becoming obsessed with the death crystal that shows him how he'll die. He becomes so fixated on dying a peaceful death next to Jessica that he turns into a killing machine. This episode sets the tone. Morty is becoming more independent, and Rick's authority is starting to crumble. Right from the jump, the show establishes that the power dynamics we've grown accustomed to are shifting. Morty, for the first time, is actively pursuing his own goals, even if they're misguided and lead to him becoming an Akira-like monster. Rick, on the other hand, is forced into a series of increasingly bizarre clone vats, each representing a different, hostile reality. It's a hilarious and frantic sequence that underscores how little control he has when Morty goes off script. The episode brilliantly foreshadows the season's central conflict. Rick has desperate attempts to maintain his dominance over a family that is slowly but surely learning to live without his constant intervention. This isn't just a one-off adventure, it's a statement piece for the season, signaling a new era where Morty's desires can derail Rick's entire existence. And Rick can't just bully his way back into the driver's seat. We have to talk about the masterpiece of this season. The Vat of Acid episode. What starts as a simple argument over a fake vat of acid turns into a brutal lesson from Rick. He creates a save point remote for Morty, making him think he can redo any mistake. But in typical Rick fashion, the twist is dark and heart-wrenching. It proves that Rick will go to any length to prove he's right, even if it means traumatizing his grandson. This episode is a perfect microcosm of the Rick and Morty formula, blending he concept sci-fi with a deeply cynical, yet emotionally resonant, character study. The initial premise seems like a fun, video game-inspired romp. Morty uses the device to pull pranks, ace tests, and finally, to pursue a genuine, meaningful relationship. We watch him fall in love, go through the ups and downs of a real connection, and even survive a plane crash with his partner. The audience is lulled into a false sense of security, thinking maybe, just maybe, this is a moment of pure growth for Morty. Then Rick pulls the rug out. He reveals that Morty wasn't resetting time, but rather killing and replacing alternate versions of himself, and that all the people he wronged are now coming for him. The final blow comes when Morty, in a desperate attempt to escape, accidentally presses the button one last time, erasing the entire relationship and landing him right back where he started, covered in fake acid, with Rick gloating over his victory. It is a gut punch that demonstrates Rick's pathological need to be the smartest person in the room, even at the cost of his grandson's happiness and emotional well-being. The episode isn't just about a cool gadget. It is a devastating critique of Rick's toxic influence, and a poignant look at the fleeting nature of happiness in their chaotic lives. The finale, Starmort Rickturn of the Jiri, brings back the biggest mystery. Did Rick clone Beth? We meet Space Beth, and the realization hits hard. Rick is so afraid of making a choice that he literally randomized which Beth stayed home. By the end of the season, Rick sits alone, realizing that while he might be the smartest man in the universe, he's actually a pretty terrible father and friend. This finale masterfully ties together the season's threads of Rick's decaying authority and emotional alienation. The reintroduction of Person, now reprogrammed as the cold and calculating serves as a physical manifestation of Rick's past failures and his tendency to destroy the things he loves. The epic space battle is spectacular, but the real climax is the emotional confrontation between Rick and the two Beths. When they discover that Rick shirked the responsibility of choosing which of them would stay and which would go, they unite in their anger and disgust. For once, Rick's genius backfires completely. His attempt to avoid making a difficult choice results in him losing the respect of both versions of his daughter. The final scene is one of the most powerful in the entire series. Rick, alone in his garage, attempts to watch the memory of what actually happened, only to find that even he didn't allow himself to know the truth. He watches the memory of himself, drunk and pathetic, admitting his own cowardice. The closing shot of him, isolated and rejected by the very family he claims to be above, is a stark reminder that his intelligence has completely isolated him. He has pushed everyone away, and for the first time, he seems to truly understand the consequences of his actions, leaving him completely and utterly alone. Season 4 isn't just about random adventures. It's about the shift in power. The family is standing up to Rick, and he's not taking it well. The animation is sharper, the jokes are meta, and the emotional beats hit where it hurts. It's a solid 9/10 for me. Throughout the 10 episodes, we see this theme repeated in various forms. In The Old Man in the Seat, Rick's private toilet becomes a symbol of his need for control, and his rage when someone else uses it reveals a deep-seated loneliness and inability to share. The story train in Never Ricking Morty is a brilliant meta-commentary on the show's own structure and fan expectations, with Rick and Morty literally fighting to break free from a narrative device. This season consistently explores the consequences of Rick's God complex. The family no longer revolves around him unquestioningly. Jerry finds a strange confidence. Summer becomes more involved in their adventures on her own terms, and both Beths come to realize they do need their father's validation to define who they are. Rick's reaction to this newfound independence is a mixture of lashing out, condescension, and, in his most private moments, a profound sadness. This evolution makes Season 4 feel more mature and cohesive than some of the earlier, more episodic seasons. It's not just a collection of zany sci-fi plots. It's a serialized character drama disguised as a cartoon, and it's this emotional core that makes the season so compelling and ultimately so successful. So, what was your favorite moment from Season 4? Was it the heist episode or the talking cat mystery? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Sassy Pooja for more deep dives and reviews. See ya in the next dimension.